had a small me that people had to take care of. And to me, this is actually one of the things that led me into the You Can Be Anything podcast. This is one of the things that reminded me that, hey, Solange, you did all those great things as a linguist. I know for sure that I was a good one. It is linguistics that made me realize my potential. It is linguistics that made me stop being average, because as soon as I got to university, I was an average student up to high school when I did the advanced level. Once I got into university and I started studying linguistics, I was no longer an average student. I became an exceptional student. And I don't know what changed. I don't know if it is just I discovered the value of what I was doing.
It was
Maybe in my
passion. I
young,
would say passion, you
yeah,
know,
maybe.
because, you know, they have this saying, I forgot who said it, like, you know, do what you love and you're never going to work a day in your life. Um, you know, sometimes especially the standardized exams, I just feel like
Mhm.
they're useless, in my opinion, especially in schools, because they force you to study all these things that are not even applicable to what you really, really want to do in the future. And then you write all the standardized exams that will not even make a difference in your life, you
Yeah,
know. So, you know, the grading system, especially in the educational system in Cameroon, for example, I think it's very rigged, and even in American system as well, but not as much as the Cameroonian system, just because um they grade a fish based on how it could climb a tree and not based on how it can swim.
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
So it's
makes
like
sense.
every one of us is smart in his or her own way, but they grade us based on what does not really apply to what we're passionate about, you
Yeah.
know? So even though at least at some point you need some kind of basic education to set up that foundation for you to make that decision on what you really want to do in the future, but I
Mhm.
feel like doing that for 7 years plus, or I don't know, it's just
Okay.
ridiculous to me, you know.
Yep.
So I feel like you finally found your passion, and that's why I didn't feel like you were doing too much to get the
Mhm.
grades that you needed or you wanted. Like it came naturally, and that's why you excelled in it. So
Yeah, that's
tell
okay.
us
Yep.
how you came across Salesforce. And I know you're a very successful Salesforce guru, I would say. So how did you come across that?
Yeah, so again, telling you how I had switched again, I realized that I was not just an average girl. There is more to me than just wanting to go to the next class. And that is the kind of step I took when I decided to switch things in the US. Right. So again, just like any person that comes into the US, you have to survive. And that's what I call survival jobs. I did a ton of those survival jobs. But while doing the survival jobs, I did come across Salesforce on LinkedIn because I was trying to up my LinkedIn profile to change it from being too academia based or too research based, because that's what I've been doing in my past life. And I happened to have seen the Salesforce Tower, and I was like, wow, this is a beautiful building. The people that work in this building, do they have horns on their head? I want to be in there. And that is truly, it was the Salesforce Tower in San Francisco that attracted me.
Hmm.
Then I went into what do these people do? Then I started looking into, hey, what is Salesforce and what does it take to know Salesforce or to work at Salesforce, or what is it all about? And those are the questions that came to my mind. I did not know anybody that had done Salesforce or that was doing Salesforce. No, I did not. Until I
Right.
did my own due diligence. I learned about it, got an idea, then talking to someone who knows someone, like, hey, I found this new thing, Salesforce. I think I like it. So I'm doing my side jobs or my survival jobs, and I'm learning Salesforce they have a free learning platform, Trailhead. So I spent a
Mhm.
lot of time on there learning about Salesforce. It took me quite a while. Then finally I found someone that, again, a friend's brother that was doing Salesforce. And I was like, hey, can you talk to me about this? And that is how I created that link. And it was a great thing to have found someone that I could just talk to casually about Salesforce and get to really understand what it was. But to me, that is how I transitioned. So I learned about it and started studying it, and I realized that I listened to other people's stories, and that's why I believe in stories, like telling stories, because people get inspired. Some other person's story inspired me to know that, hey, even though I don't have a background in information technology, I can actually become a great Salesforce consultant professional, right? And so the stories of other people that were shared did inspire me to know that my background didn't really matter. I just needed to put in the time and the work and do what I have to do, and I will be successful, which today is my story, right? And it's
Right.
the same story that I put out.
Right. 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 Thank you so much for sharing.